are put into systems, and the systems that have chlorine and fluoride put into them, the society that is on that system, they have more obesity. They have much more obesity. And it's because, in my opinion, of what you're seeing here, it throws off the probiotic levels, and when you have high levels of that one type of bacteria, which, by the way, saved your life during the fast, saved your life during starvation, but you're not starving anymore. So what are we becoming? Morbidly obese, without eating more food, but because of our bacterial ratios are off. All we're going to do is shift those ratios. And once you do that, you'll start losing weight. But more importantly, you'll start seeing that go. So be very careful with tap water. Enriched whole grain breads and biscuits. If it doesn't, say that with me. If it doesn't say unbleached, it's bleached. So don't fall for that. I don't care if it says beautiful, wonderful, heart healthy, blah. If it says enriched wheat with fortified with vitamins, it's garbage. It must say unbleached. A big word, unbleached, and preferably unbromated. You can write that down too.
Okay. What is that?
Nature's Own. It's the way it's processed. Nature's Own, Banderita are the only two so far in this area. That, and some of their products are bleached, but those are the only two products that we have found unbleached. You start adding just that one little change into your diet, you're going to drop a boatload of weight.
What was the other one? I'm sorry.
Banderita.
I'm sorry.
B-A-N-D-E-R-I-T-A. La Banderita. Dave's Killer Bread sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If it doesn't say unbleached, it's bleached.
What about earthfare? I mean, they say
If it doesn't say unbleached, it's bleached. Sorry. I'm seriously, they have to legally say unbleached for it to be unbleached. So all of these wonderful breads aren't so wonderful, in my opinion anyway. Chicken, we've already talked about. Tyson, teeth whiteners, hair dyes, baby diapers, feminine products, toilet paper. What are you going to wipe your butt with? Huh? What are you going to wipe your butt with? Yeah, they're like, yeah. I'll tell you what I'm going to wipe them. Don't do a corn cob, because guess what? The next thing we're going to take out of you. GMO corn. GMO corn will inflame you. If you continue to take in canola oils and corn, you will get bloated, and when you're bloating, you're fat coating. You're getting fatter. You're getting fatter and fatter and fatter. So corn is not allowed, so you cannot wipe your butt with corn cob. Here's the deal, folks. What did I tell you? What did I already tell you? You're not going to get away with it. You're in a chemical dump. I'm going to teach you how to cleanse yourself as much as possible. Yeah, do you want to take that paste and push it up your butt? Well, I mean, people do that. They actually do that, and there's a reason they do that, because they treat rectal cancer with that. And they some people have hemorrhoids, and some people have irritable bowel. It actually helps. That's not what I'm suggesting. It's already hard enough to have you push it up your sinuses, let alone your butt. But here's the deal, folks. You're going to still use your toilet paper. Of course you are. All right? Don't worry about it. Just try to eliminate the bleach. Just try to eliminate the bleach. Ladies, I'm sorry. It's tough to be a woman. Sorry. But there are a lot of products that are literally in you that are toxic. And if you don't believe me, ask the ladies in the 70s that were killed by toxic shock syndrome. So we need to really focus on cleansing the bowel. So how are we going to do it? We're going to use a probiotic today called GR8. This is all written down for you. You're going to put your GR8 into you at a loading dose. I'll explain that in just a second. But we're going to start introducing formulas that are to enhance the health of your probiotica. Your AM and your PM blends are like that. Your L-glutamine is like the golden streets of that city. It is the pavers of that city. We're going to start repairing your gut. We get the mouth fixed, we get the gut fixed, step back. You will lose all the weight you want, and your brain will start to fire again. That's all you need. Really? Yeah, that's all you need. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. But how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? So, there it is, something called my first 14 days. You see that? And then there's something called my next 7 days. We're going to go over those 2 pieces of paper. And then I'm going to open it up to, don't worry, this is cool. This is really, really simple. So basically what I want you to start doing is introducing some new fluids into your system. Now, you're going to introduce our fluids into your system. That's going to be the AM and the PM blend. That's going to be simple. But I'm also going to start introducing new fluids into your system. Has anybody heard of kombucha?
Yeah, heard of it.
Yeah, well, start introducing it into your system. Yeah, you can scratch up your nose like that.
Sorry.
But there's certain kombuchas, I'm the same way. Kombuchas, there, I don't want to tell you, but I'm going to say it anyway. Because you guys go and grab my stuff and I can't find it at Walmart. Gingerberry is awesome. Gingerberry is awesome. Kombucha, there's multiple kombuchas. I'm not going to say it any farther.
Is that a brand or a
That is
flavor?
a flavor, and it is GTS is the brand. So just start to introduce it. If you can get your kids to start drinking this stuff, kombucha, there is a company, there is a factory coming to Roanoke that is going to be creating kombucha. It's also going to be bringing jobs into the area.
Wow.
Amen. Amen. So most Americans aren't going to be eating fermented foods like pickles, like corned beef. Like corned beef, guys, that's a fermented meat. It's the only meat that I know that is fermented. Sauerkraut, those kind of things. I usually find I can't get you guys to eat that because this is outside of your norm. But if you can, go for it. Because you want to start getting your body used to being flushed with healthy probiotics. Not just taking a probiotic, flushing your system with the foods that are heavy in probiotics. It's going to give you and your kids a chance to get that brain under control and get that belly off of you. All right?
That's just correct.
Yes.
We used to have, what is it,
Kavita is a coconut water that is fermented, and it is fine too. Kavita, kombucha, kefir. Kimchi. Kavita, kombucha, kefir, or kefir. Kefir, the way they say it in the South. Give us some of that kefir. These are things that have probiotics in them. I just want you to start having a little bit of fun. Have a little when you go shopping, and if you can get the kids. One way I get my kids' probiotic levels up is Dannon has these little yogurt drinks that have probiotics in them. If you can sneak some L-glutamine into that and give it to a child, very nice for helping people stay focused in school.
Can kids take the AM blend?
Huh?
Can kids?
Oh my goodness, yes. We put it into our pregnant ladies for the development of the brain. A child's brain is not developed until 6 years of age.
Well, I
Remember
just
that.
wondered because the AM blend was different now, more strong.
Oh, it's stronger, absolutely stronger, but it is even better for kids.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, your first 14 days, I don't want you to worry about the oximeter and food forensic evaluations. Those are things we'll talk about in the future. Right now, you need a survival kit that has your 14-day cleanse and your 8-week cycle, all the supplements you need. If you purchase that kit today, we give you a cup and we give you your probiotics for free. Again, one last time, I'm warning you guys, that is it. Once you guys walk out of here and you come back and say, okay, I'm ready to do this, it's gone. Because our other clients already have dibs on what is left over. So, keep that in mind. Purchase red Korean ginseng. Red Korean ginseng is one of the things that we're going to use to start creating a healthier probiotic in your stomach. We're also going to start dealing with your hormonal issues. Yes, guys, we have hormonal issues. But ladies, this is going to start helping stabilize your blood sugar levels. You're going to use this with an infusion of AM blend. I'll show you how to use it in just a second. Find it. We will send you a link. Correct, Miss Ruth? We have a link for that. All right? So you've got your L-glutamine. You're going to work on your red Korean. You've got your coconut oil. We have coconut oil here, but the truth is, you can get coconut oil from Walmart. You can get coconut oil from Kroger. Wherever you want, you might have coconut oil already. Go for it. You don't need that. Turmeric tea, dandelion root tea. Turmeric tea you are going to take at night.
Oh,
and you're going to put a scoop of PM blend in to turmeric tea. It is going to go down and make everybody on Lean Leviticus's side jump for joy. Once they jump for joy, your brain is going to start firing better. Turmeric is actually being found to accumulate in the brain. And those that have stained brains, it's actually stained yellow when we do the autopsy. The area that is stained, you know what the yellow stain is? It's the turmeric. It's actually going into the brain, as does the PM blend. It is staining the brain yellow. Don't worry, it won't turn your eyes yellow. It'll turn your brain yellow. The areas that are stained yellow have very little degenerative changes and no inflammation. That's why cultures that have large amounts of turmeric, anybody know what culture that is? There we go. They are finding they have lower rates of intestinal disorder and lower rates of what? Dementia. 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 So guys, start pumping this stuff into your brain at night. Your brain wants stuff at night. Your blood wants stuff early in the morning. Your brain wants stuff at night. Your brain only heals and cleanses at night. And it only does that in deep sleep cycles. People that cannot sleep deeply are much more prone to dementia. And they're also much more prone to obesity. Isn't that interesting? Those two things are associated. Absolutely. We want to get the gut right. We want to get the brain right. That's how we're going to do it. Turmeric tea and PM blend. When you begin to take in turmeric tea and PM blend, you are going to also, the side effect is you're going to begin to connect. You're going to develop connections in your brain that have not been connected in a while, and it will go back into your right hemisphere. It will begin to connect old memories. You know what happens with old memories? They begin to express themselves in dream states. So some of you might have some bizarro dreams for the first 10 days on this program. Don't be afraid. That's a healing process, I promise you. Don't be afraid. You are going to connect, you are going to detox, and you're going to get through that, and then you're going to see some real improvement in brain function, and also your waistline will go down. It's a really cool experience. So don't be afraid of going into your brain at night. That's where the PM blend is going to take you. Only 10 days, that's the worst I've seen. Worst I've seen. You know, you might have to be strapped to the bed. You're also going to get yourself dandelion root tea. Those can all be found at Kroger, Walmart, or Amazon.
I'm sorry, where is all this in the book?
Oh, in the book, it's in your handouts, which are attached to the front of your book. Am I wrong? Do you not have your first? You don't have this?
No.
You don't have it?
It's like
Yeah, she has it.
third page.
It says the first 14 days is cleansing. Sorry, guys. And then it says my next 7 days. Yeah, you got it in there. What page is that on? Sorry, guys, it must not be the first. Yeah, my first 14 days. Yeah, you guys got it in there.
I don't see where it says you can got turmeric or anything like that in here.
Oh, I'll go through that in just a second.
Okay.
I tend to get a little ahead of myself. All right. First 14 days. So basically what we're going to be doing in the first 14 days is prepping you guys up. So, oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, they have like 4 or 5 pages in front of that. You can read all that, but not right now. Not right now. Sorry about that. So basically, let's look at this screen. This will make it a lot easier. And you also have, I believe, a chart in there that you can put on your wall that shows you exactly what to do at the exact times. Not that one. That has to do with the trigger tracker. So let's look at this real quick. And you can also write this down if you'd like, but it will be in your book. It will be in your book. Ruth, they have the handout for the, it's like a calendar setup, correct? Yeah, they have that in the book. It's in the first part of your book. It's in the very front of your book. Get you guys situated. So your first 14 days, MBC, here we go, Ray 3 and ginseng. You guys see that? Bowel and brain. Yeah. Oh, I see. I'm the one that doesn't have what you have.
I don't have what you have.
Nah, no, this one's abbreviated. Could I borrow yours for a second? So basically, you're doing a blood cleansing protocol. So dirty metabolism, it starts at the top. It says a dirty metabolism is a slow, sluggish one.
What does the page look like? Is this right here? No page number.
Yeah, it's in the very front of your book. And no page number. Looks like it's about the fourth page back.
It's the page after my
Fourth-
first
fourth-
working day.
Yeah. So we'll flip that. A dirty metabolism. And basically what we're looking at here is, so we're looking at Korean red ginseng tea. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. And you guys can write on this piece of paper right next to it. I'm sorry guys, it's just in a different order than I was used to. So right here where it's talking about your first 14 days, just start to write what I'm about to share with you. It'll be real simple because you're basically going to not change your dietary protocols at all. You're just going to begin to bring in these different types of teas. Your first one, you're going to drink something called a metabolic accelerator. That's 12 to 20 ounces of ice water with 1 scoop of your AM blend. So the first thing that goes into your system, that core, it goes deep into your core. What we're finding is if you consume your formulas without food, there is a better uptake. Formulas and food fight each other at a cellular level, at a brain level, at a muscular level. So we want you the first thing in the morning to consume water, preferably iced water, and here's why. It causes a specific process in the digestive tract to be initiated.
Spring water?
Spring water, definitely not tap water. Yeah. So, you are also going to have 2 hot things. So write this down, fluids first. And this is a key to how you're going to live your life in the future. If you want to remain lean as you're getting older, you're going to put your fluids in first. It's kind of like a sequence of things. So one of your fluids is something called an iced coffee inferno. Now if you're not a coffee drinker, don't worry about it. What it basically is you blend up 1 scoop of bone broth protein. That's part of your kit. Right? You choose vanilla or chocolate, whatever you guys like. You put that into coconut milk or almond milk. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, just put it in your coffee. Yeah, that's cool. And you can put a little bit of coconut milk in there too. So again, guys, you'll write this down, but you're going to find this in your workbook too. So you just keep writing this down. That is the first thing that you're going to start with. You're going to start to take that in. We start cold, and then we put 2 hot things into it. Right? The first hot thing is your iced coffee inferno, and the second is your cup of red Korean ginseng infused with 1 teaspoon of AM blend. Now you basically just put that into hot water. The red Korean ginseng comes in a crystalline form, and you put that into hot water, and you put a little bit of a teaspoon of your AM blend. That's what you're drinking. Now, some of you are not going to want any breakfast at all after this, because that's a lot of fluid. Modify it to your liking, all right? What I found initially, the body is shocked by having hot, cold, and that amount of fluid initially, because if you do the math on that, you're taking a lot of fluid in there, all right? What I do is I get up first thing in the morning, I make my accelerator, I drink it, and then I do some work for an hour or 2. And I get up at 3:45, so. The energy on this stuff is fantastic. Then, an hour later, I get my iced coffee inferno ready to roll. I had that this morning, and I had my cup of red Korean ginseng with a little bit of AM blend in it. Does that make sense? Kind of pace that a little bit. I don't know if your schedule allows that, but
Cold, hot?
cold, hot.
So iced coffee is not really cold.
Yes.
I'm okay with that. If you wanted to do iced coffee, that's fine with me.
It says ice.
Yeah, you can use ice if you want. A lot of people just throw it in. A lot of people just throw their bone broth right into the hot cup. I'll leave that one up to you guys. But what we're doing, we're shocking the system. Iced, then you're going to start getting some hot stuff coming through. Now, if you do an iced coffee, you're still going to get hit by the hot cup of Korea. What's going to happen? 15 minutes later, you're going to evacuate. You're going to evacuate. If you're not evacuating, if you're not cleansing your colon, you got a problem. That's where your big problem is, and we're going to fix that for you. This is all a process of getting you ladies ready. We don't want gerbil turds. We're looking for the Titanic to come out of it. All right? And that has to happen. That has to happen. You know, don't send me pictures, but I'll celebrate with you. I'll celebrate with you.
What about all your ice? I mean, if your ice is tap, I mean, you've got.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
True in Mexico too.
Yes.
Panama.
Is that gonna make a big difference?
So what you want to do is you might want to look into a filtration system with your ice, but you're exactly right. This is if you're actually going to eliminate all the bleach in your system, it's tough to do. It is really tough to do.
Well, how do you know when you go out that you're getting that?
You don't.
know.
You assume that you are getting tap water and bleach. You assume that. And by the way, as you clean up on this program, you won't have to guess, you'll taste it. You literally taste it in the water. It's kind of sad, but that's what happens. Here's your big pink trick. This is 32 ounces to 40 ounces of spring water in an MBC friendly container. What is that? What is an MBC friendly container?
Stainless steel.
245. Just remember that. 245. This is all going to start to, all the things that you learn in this process is going to start to resonate as a little song in your head. And once you get that song and you start dancing to it, you'll lose all the weight you want. It'll be so simple. But more importantly, you'll start to think and have energy again. So 245, yes, stainless steel, absolutely. That's a simple way of doing it too. That's what I do. You're putting 2 scoops of your AM blend into the fluid. You add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar if you dare. Drink that slowly from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's just something that you need to take in slowly and carefully. This is the same stuff we use in chemo and radiation patients. This stuff works. It cleanses your blood. It begins to open the blood flow to your brain, open the blood flow to your body fat. It opens blood flow up. If you do it too quickly, you're going to get yourself spinny-headed because your blood pressure goes down. After 10 days of exposure of this product, your blood volume goes up to match all the opening. And when that happens, that's where you get serious energy. And that's a cool phenomenon. Cool phenomenon. So, that's what you're drinking throughout the day. Now, what do you eat the first 14 days? Anything you want. But here's what I would recommend for you guys. These formulas are blocked by food. You're spending money on these formulas. Okay? All right? You're spending money on these formulas. These formulas, you want them to have maximum impact on your muscularity, maximum impact on the blood, on the heart, on the liver, on the cleansing, correct? Keep the solid foods away from your fluids other than your big pink drink. I mean, that one I'm not going to take it. And consider consuming your foods, your solid foods, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 noon. Try to back them off a little bit. Making sense? So some of you might, the first meal might be lunch. Well, you're going to have a protein drink. You're not going to want to eat. On this program, you're going to lose your appetite. Big time. Big time. You really do. You're like, and if you make it past 10:15, you won't eat all day long. If you won't have any desire to eat at all. Now, that's not what we're recommending. We're recommending that you have a meal at lunch and at dinner. I'll show you what that meal should be. Here's your brain building protocols. You're going to steep 12 ounces of turmeric tea. Add 1/4 scoop of PM blend into hot tea. Drink 30 minutes prior to bedtime. Why only 1/4 of a scoop? Where is this stuff going? It goes into your bowel and then goes into your brain. Some of you got some craziness in that brain. You don't want to get the brain upset. Well, no, anxiety and stuff, you know what I'm talking about. Stress. So what I'm getting at is you want to ease into this process. Start with a quarter scoop, move to a half scoop, move to 3/4 scoop, move down to a full scoop with turmeric tea. Now, here's the deal. Some of you are under excessive stress and may have a stress response to this process. That will be tingling of the face and chest and tightness in the chest. That will last for 3 to 5 minutes. Guys, we're not kidding around here. We're going into your brain. That is one crazy, crazy place. All right? So when you do this, just expect having a little bit of a sensation like this. That will go away after a couple doses. Modify it. Back it off a little bit if you need to. This is the most important thing I can teach you, though, if you're looking to remain lean and have a healthy brain in the future. What I'm showing you right here is going to be the key. Is that making sense to you guys? So, everybody good? Yeah? Sorry, I know, guys. 3 hours straight. Ugh. Bioscum builds up on your brain and is removed after 3 consecutive days in this MBC reduce phase, faster download speeds. And this is actually what you're going to see. We can actually measure how quickly your brain works. It's very interesting. When you watch an Alzheimer's patient and dementia patients on this, it's scary. It's like you've been on a Wi-Fi and it's not downloading quick. That's how it is in the brain. It's exactly how it is. So, what we look at, brain fog or pre-dementia, after 8 cycles, and we see after 16 cycles, which is 16 weeks. Pretty cool stuff. So, any questions? Listen. Here's what I'm going to do. Because you guys are kind of being downloaded quickly. But basically, I'm telling you, is the first 14 days, you're going to start receiving emails and texts from us specifically telling you what to do. So don't fret about trying to write this stuff down and get it all perfect and right. It's going to be there for you. I would recommend, for the first 14 days, just getting your stuff. Go get your red Korean ginseng. Go get your survival kits. Just get the stuff that you need ready. Then start to implement it slowly, and then do what I'm about to show you. You guys ready? This will go into specifics for you, and I think we'll answer some of your questions. Yeah, great, but what do I eat? So I've given you your fluid protocols. Now I'm going to give you your eating protocols. Time to shine. Here we go. We're going through what's called reduce, reload, and repeat. I want you to start thinking of your week in a 3-day cycle and a 4-day cycle. Your first 3-day cycle, we are going to, when we discuss this with you on text and on email, it's going to be called reduce phase. 6 to noon, fat cells balloon. So what does that mean? There is a feeding frenzy for our cancer patients, they taught us this, as well as patients trying to lose weight. And that feeding frenzy starts from 7 p.m. at night and goes to 12 noon the following day. So what I'm explaining to you is this. There is a specific area where if you consume your solid foods during this set period of time, you're going to find that those solid foods are going to be feeding your brain and your muscularity and your living tissue more than being converted over to body fat. That's good if you understand that. Now, if you notice, what I've done is at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., you're starting to take your fluids in, right? Like I just showed you. What's going to happen is at noon, you're going to start to introduce foods. Those foods are going to be very restricted for 3 days. And then for 4 days, they're going to be wide open, whatever you want. Whatever you want to eat. But you're still going to be using your formulas during your 4 days of eating whatever you want. We call those reload days. Reload days are very important because they allow you to continue to keep your metabolism rolling and get your muscularity going, right? So keep that in mind. When you're reloading, You want to keep that reload somewhere between noon and 7 p.m. Is that functional for you guys? Is that possible? All right. Basically what we're doing is we're really slowing down solid foods in the morning. Now, you're not fasting because you're taking in hypernutrient. In fact, these nutrients that you're taking from your AM and PM blend actually take care of your nutrient needs without food. They've taken care of and keep our patients that are bedridden from wasting. And it's really cool to see that. With you guys, your MBC safe zone is noon to 6, noon to 7. Have a little bit, give yourself a little bit of leeway there. Fat feeding frenzies. You're going to find that a lot of body fat is put on between 7 and midnight, unfortunately. Tumor time, some of you have to have these night shifts. It's flipped your circadian patterns, much higher rates of obesity and tumor activity in people that are forced into that kind of work pattern. However, the program that we're sharing with you here is protective in nature for them as well. They just flip their times a little bit. Brain drain, that's also, again, what we were just talking about, eating in that period of time. So, here's your reduced days, all right? And again, this information, correct, should be in their workbook.
I'm not seeing it in this one,
Okay. Don't worry, guys. If it's not, then we're going to this comes to you email. It should actually be in your email right now. Did you find it, Miss Ruth? Okay. So this will come to you guys via email, and if it isn't in your book right now, we will get it into your book. And basically what this is talking about is fluids first, and then we're going to look into lunch and protein islands and then dinner, right? And these are really restricted protocols that will be very specific on how you prep. So before I go into this, do you guys have any questions with regards to your fluids, your teas, protocols like that? You guys, I feel so bad for you guys because you guys have been sitting for 3 hours.
The
Aloe vera and kefir are not in the protocols anymore.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
No more. Nothing wrong with aloe vera or
Because it
kefir.
was mentioned on a little bit of this, I was.
Yeah. Did we? Okay. This will be coming to you email-wise, and
So I'm on an antibiotic now, so
Yeah.
I continue my antibiotics.
finish off your antibiotic, but you're also going to be using your GRA at a protocol level that we will have, it'll be able to repair what that antibiotic is doing. Okay? All right, so let's look at this. First, we start with our fluids. That's 1 scoop of your AM blend in 20 ounces of water. We just talked about that. We'll do a half a scoop of AM blend in red Korean ginseng tea. Now, here's what we find works the best. Korean red ginseng is in the first part of your week, your reduced days. That helps you kind of keep the energies up. On your reload days, which is your last 4, you're going to have a different type of tea put in the morning, and that's dandelion root. So your sequence is first 3 days red Korean, last 4 days dandelion. Okay? Is it making sense to you guys? And don't worry, this will be sent to you guys if it is not in your book at this time. You are going to use your detox shake. Your detox shake is either your bone broth vanilla or bone broth chocolate. And then you drink your big pink drink throughout the day. Some of you are going to find at about 10 a.m. and at about 4 p.m. you're just not making it. You're just, it's tough for you to continue on. This is where you need a protein island. And what we recommend in our protein islands is either almonds, walnuts. You can also use pure protein bars, and there's a pure protein shake over at Walmart. All right. The only products that we find that do not have the damaging substrates that we're trying to avoid, pure protein bars, and there's a drink called muscle milk. All right, and if you need to use that, help yourself. As you go through this program, the need to consume food on a regular basis will go away. You just won't simply need to do that. However, when you first start doing this, it can be a little bit tough, So those are your meals there. Now, lunchtime, you are going to make up what's called a bazooka wrap. And this is, the recipe will be sent to you, but it's real simple. It's basically a clean meat. We prefer a turkey if you can do that. There's cheese that you can put into it, and you're going to use a unbleached tortilla, and we prefer you to use la banderita, right? And that's what you're going to have for lunch, right? Now these are only 3 days out of the week. Your other lunches are whatever you want to have, okay? And again, this will be written down for you guys, so don't worry about trying to write all of this down.
Where do you find that brand of tortillas?
That should be found over at Walmart. I know they also have it at Kroger.
Do you put like lettuce or anything else in there?
You can put whatever you want on there.
Any vegetables?
Have fun with it. Have fun with it. We are asking you to look for the chemicals that we want you to remove, soy and bleach. Other than that, have a little fun. Dinner. This is my favorite thing. Dinner time, what's called a fat and fiber fry. All right? See if I can find it. Here we go. Basically, and again, this recipe is given to you and will also be sent to you via email. The recipe itself, what you're using, is yellow squash, and you will cook that up. I know I don't like squash either, but I love this. You will saute that up in coconut oil, and you will douse that with cheese, and you will put bacon on it as well.
No way.
And you guys, what I tell you is, you guys, and the young lady, she's like, there's no way this is going to work. And it worked tremendously well for lowering her cholesterol levels. Reason being is, if you understand how your body and your brain work, fat and fiber satisfy. It satisfies your appetite centers. So this is only 3 days out of your week. Your other meals are going to be what you want. You can do anything for 3 days. And if you're willing to do this for 3 days, between Wednesday night and Thursday morning, you will begin to drop large amounts of body fat. It's that window that we created of weight loss. And that occurs, write this down, Wednesday night, Thursday morning. When you wake up Thursday morning, it's a reload day. You know what that means? It's a free-for-all, whatever you want. But if you can delay your messy meal, that's what we call the first meal, out of reduce, to 12 noon or later, between Wednesday night and 12 noon, that's where you lose the body fat. And you prepped yourself up for that one specific window. And then you redo it, and redo it until you're where you want to be. And it's a predictable amount of weight that comes off of you every time. Every time.
So
So-
after noon is when you should have the first meal.
Try. Some of you are like, I want it now. Now you can still have your red Korean, your dandelion root tea with your AM blend. You can still have that as well. So I still, it's almost like I do the same protocol over again in the morning, and then I go right into it. So basically, I just shared with you a level 1. A level 2 and a level 3, you begin to subtract out the snacks. You just don't need them anymore. And then you subtract out the protein shake in the morning. And don't do that until you have run into what we call a metabolic wall. So, first 2 weeks, start to introduce your substances. After those 2 weeks, you go into a level 1. A level 1 protocol is real simple. You have your fluids in the morning. At about 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., you have your snacks. You have your lunch, which is a wrap, and you have your fat and fiber fry. That's what your day looks like. And you do that for 3 days in a row. The 4th day, noontime, whatever you're desiring, whatever your body is craving, go eat it. But try to eat it without the chemicals that we're showing you. If you're gonna have a sandwich, try to have an unbleached sandwich. There are restaurants that will be sharing with you that our other boot campers have gone out and already analyzed for you. Trozone's is one of them, but there's a number of different ones out there that work really well for having some fun. But you know what's interesting is when you're eating clean, you start to do this program, you'll know what hurts you. You'll bloat up almost immediately, and you'll be able to identify, that's not what I'm gonna do next time. Does that make sense? Okay, so, I'm gonna open it to Q&A now. We've got your kits ready to roll. You guys are gonna begin to receive support process from us, but you also have feedback. You guys can talk with us too. So, please, 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 any questions? This is a very simple process. Do things slowly. Introduce it into your system over over the first 14 days. Do that real slow, and then take it from there. Now, the rest of that workbook is stuff that we'll be teaching you guys down the road. So don't get too far ahead of yourself. There's some interesting things in it. But right now, let's focus on those first 14 days and then level 1.
Are you gonna give us a list of the safe things,
List of the safe things.
like brands and that kind of thing?
Yes, we will have that. We also have that coming to you in a blog called Shopping Behind Enemy Lines. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
So, I take the 1 scoop in the morning, 2 more scoops, I don't necessarily think I need that much of it, but to get by even with this, so
Yeah.
less, if I don't think I need that many scoops.
As
anyway.
long on those reduced days, especially you being somebody who trains and works out, you're probably going to need to have that amount of AM blend on the reduced days, because I'm taking your calories way back. And then on your reload days, absolutely, the way you're doing it, absolutely. Great question. Yes, ma'am?
About the seminar email that was sent to us.
Yes,
In order to watch the video, the Welcome to
yes.
Boot Camp video,
Mhm.
you did a code?
Oh, okay, if the code isn't
Or a
sent
password?
with you in the email, here it is. All caps, MBC, number 4, life. That will get you into all blogs and all videos. MBC, all caps, number 4, life. MBC for life.
Not the number sign,
All, life is all caps too.
not the number sign.
Just the number 4. Yep, just number 4. Yes, sir.
In your hot drinks, is there such thing as too hot? Would break down the middle.
In the hot drinks, is there such a thing as too hot? The new formulas that we have are exceptionally stable. You can take it as hot as you want. That was different in the past.
Yes, well.
We've upgraded. We've upgraded. Yes, ma'am.
Does it have to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
No, it does not.
Can you pick any other day of the week?
You
Other
can
3
pick
days?
3 consecutive days. It does have to be 3 consecutives. And it can be any 3 consecutive days of the week.
That's awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, no, help yourself. Help yourself. Green tea in the large pink drink, you can do that. Absolutely, you can put your green tea in there, but make sure it's unsweetened. Unsweetened. Green tea is great.
I drink a lot of green tea.
Green tea is absolutely fantastic. Be careful if you drink green tea if you're prone to kidney stones. So be careful with that. The reason we don't recommend green tea globally now is because some people were getting so alkaline it was causing kidney stones. If that's not happening to you, if it hasn't happened to you yet, it's not going to happen to you. That's okay. That's all right. Well, you guys have been sitting here for 3 hours. It'll come to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just the 4 probiotics in the morning. Yes. That's going to be a loading dose for you guys. And that should be enough of just one bottle. Can you? Yeah, the question is dandelion root. Dandelion root, if you are allergic to ragweed, you're more than likely going to be allergic to dandelion root. That will be evidenced by you start to scratch and itch over your sternum. If that happens, you can substitute the dandelion root with turmeric. But we do want you to get an anti-inflammatory tea into you.
Back to the question. Green tea, I still do.
Green tea you still do, and you haven't had any problems with it.
No,
Excellent.
but don't sweep the stevia.
Stevia is fine. The question was which sweeteners can be used. We are fine with stevia. If you are okay with it, we have found that Splenda does not interfere with the process that we're doing here. Turbinado sugars are okay, which are the raw sugars. And another one was brought to me, it's called Ellulose. That is a corn-based sweetener. Do not use a corn-based sweetener. Agave, do not use agave. Do not use agave. That interferes with the process.
How about the Korean red ginseng? Can you get that here, or you have to?
Korean red ginseng, I haven't found it in this area other than on Williamson Road in the Vietnam grocery stores. However, I don't know. You don't order on, then go down to Williamson Road. The Korean market down there should be good. Good people down there. From what I've seen, the people that have purchased from there, it works well.
Is that
Yeah.
the red ginseng she's talking about?
Korean red ginseng, yeah. You want Korean red. That's what you're looking for. We prefer the 6-year protocol because of its density. Any other questions?
Yes.
How do you feel about supplements, like B12, D3, all that?
I'm not against supplementation, but with your AM and your PM blend, you are covered. You are covered. You are covered.
You don't need all that.
You do, I'm not saying throw them out, I'm saying shelf them, but you are covered. Everything, we're trying to make this as easy, both financially, but also, more importantly, just the mechanics of your life.
Right.
You know, I don't find, it's just frustrating when you have all these capsules to give all the kids and all, you know, powder, go to sleep. And just repeat. Just keep routine. Can you get a probiotic? The new product that we'll have for you October 12th will be a powder. That will be at 6 to 9, and that will be October 12th. It will be at Rainbow Forest. In fact, on the way out, have Vanessa give you some information. I will also send all you guys an email on an invitation. I'll have to sign you up pre-hand because we're having it catered, and it'll be kind of more like a dinner, and it'll be a lot of fun.
How about water from the refrigerator?
That was a great question. It goes right along with the young lady's comment about the ice. If you have a filter on the tube going into the refrigerator, you're fine. If you don't, it will be bleached.
So it's not really anything like
That's the problem. If you guys, basically your palates will become so purified, you'll taste the chlorine in it. Now, what I have found with spring water from Kroger, it does not have chlorine in it, but I don't want to promise you guys that, because things can change.
Well, I mean, and it is a number 2.
There are groups that fill up bottled water with tap water.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's what they do.
Well, yeah, that's a
Reverse osmosis.
And the problem is, if it's full of the fluoride or the chlorine, you are going to cripple this process. And that's what people do. They have no idea that they're crippling the process.
If you take your water to the filters, what are those?
The Brita filter, there is a zero filter which guarantees when you test that water, it has nothing in it but water. That is over at Walmart. The Brita filters, I'm guessing they're about 99, 98% effective. That's pretty good. That's fine. That's fine too. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Well, you probably sensing some of the chemicals in it.
If you do not,
And it's
I
absolutely
do that, I
terrible.
broke up. If you really don't get 8 hours sleep with that piano,
Appreciate
you
you.
wake up, you still sleeping. And I'm like, oh God, it's not worn off yet, and I gotta go back to bed. So if I know if I gotta get up real early, I don't drink it, especially if it's really late. So I can't drink it.
Oh, no. In the water itself?
Well, it was in the water, but it was just in a resistant flood.
Oh,
So then I had to do just in the lab, and,
yes.
I had to do it.
Oh, that is, because that can cause brain damage.
Time,
I'm wide awake. Yeah, because you know that, even with it, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Our family.
Yeah, that's something you definitely don't want to put into the kids.
We should, 2 or 3.
I would, for sure, if you're planning to drink the tap water. And the other problem is your shower. And people don't realize chlorine can get into the skin. Yeah, but it must have some type of contaminant in it. I would definitely just at least a part of the filter. Okay, but you need a filter on it as well. I would definitely highly recommend. Oh goodness, no, a carbon
You
filter should
prefer
not
the
cost that.
pen because of your brain size.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know. I would go over to Lowe's and ask them what a carbon filter should cost. But I don't think it's that. I would say it's about $85 to $100.
I started feeling getting all wet. And then.
And he might be setting a system on there that's a lot more intense.
I mean, that's.
Well, I don't know if you necessarily need that.
Yeah, my body is so.
But if the baby is showing lead,
They say one's good, it happens if I'm never gonna have it. Even with the AM.
that's scary. That can cause damage to the baby.
Always, and I don't know if that's why my mom said that I never
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, yes.
That was the first thing.
Hey guys, if you are getting the kit, protein powders are over there. You'll have to pick out your flavor before units are ready.
These numbers I saw.
Hey. Hey, like I said, that's just, it's the math. You are here, but don't fret about it. Make this, just start slow. Don't do too much all at once. But when you start rolling with your muscularity, you'll be fine. You got a lot of power in you. You just gotta get that body online and cleanse. That's it. Okay.
When I started the AM blend,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
said you were one scoop.
Yes.
But I noticed this puts more.
This is more aggressive protocol. Oh, for you, yes, absolutely. You're only going to do that for 3 days. You're not really leaning up. And then afterwards, you'll go back
she's always talking about low carb.
You're very well.
But every time I look at it, she looks like she's just
That's
as big as she
true.
was when she started.
That is very good to use in the process. I can't trust it. Taste of turmeric, and you put that into. I'm an American taste. Yeah, I have. We do have patients that use it when they're moving, you know, things like that. But if you're using it as oh, yes.
Yeah, I remember, yes. Yes, I do remember.
Understood. But I will tell you, my bodybuilders, when I show them how to do it, they are very weaker. They will actually be stronger. So, now, maybe your biggest change before your teaching. If you do your T and your accelerator and your routine, you get on with life and you, after your course.
Give me a chocolate.
We didn't pay for this.
Oh, it's 8 o'clock at night. Whoa. Oh, whoa, yeah, because
But I'm not gonna quit because I got half of the stuff in the house.
that, the pain like this, and I mean, it's not a stimulating. You will get home.
I just bought AM.
So I don't necessarily want that happening to you.
Because I
As
turned
your
over
primary.
2 weeks ago,
So,
so I turned around.
modify that a little bit.
PM is full.
I don't think he will. I think you're gonna flush through the day and be ready for your courses. Okay.
PM is full.
This is for all of you.
No, I'm gonna ask the lady.
Okay. I did not check, but I've already ran through.
Yeah, because the PM
That's
is full. You
Well,
know
Friday,
what
Saturday,
happened to the AM?
That could work. I don't wanna take away, I don't want to take away the time you
More
have to
AM than we do the PM, and that's cool. Just like they do the stores. You buy a bag of chips and you buy air. I don't buy any of it.
And then have your fun ones. You know, we like to have socialization.
No, just today. Said where we got it.
So, try, I would choose the same.
Like,
Now, this protocol, when you're starting to get your text, it's set up. But I need to do, I appreciate you. That's your question. I'll set that in front of my.
right after the September program, we missed it, you know, like 2 weeks.
We'll work on
We wouldn't do January.
Your first 14 days, you're just getting information, getting your ducks in a row. But then, when the program starts, get up, stop eating now, start eating now. It's very, so I'll also get into that.
So did you ask him about? I might have to come Monday, I might have to ask him Monday. That does make sense, huh?
That could work. Understood, yeah, understood. I got you. I don't like to drink a lot of food before I get ready. Yeah, that protocol, that's why this protocol should really work. Really work. Because the hormonal changes that we see after going through the perimenopause, in this society, there's so much toxin that provokes that as well. It's like,
Yes,
Getting in a hurry.
without changing our diet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's what I
Very
wanted.
clean.
Yes.
But wait,
Yes.
My grandson, granddaughter.
and the thing is,
Oh, really?
but I'm just looking at some of the signs.
2004.
Oh, the first one was easy. And I wish I had kept the books, because I would have been
You're gonna dial
with
this
my
in.
first
Share
third.
it with me.
She's when I was,
And I will share it.
They did, I played volleyball.
and I,
That's what
I'll
she,
put down.
Yes.
But that last book, I turned it, it was so crazy.
Oh, yeah, she'll highly motivate you.
I didn't, that's why I wanted to get things, because I can
Well,
home
I
and I
really
had
want
that, and I couldn't look
three
at
millionaires to
it.
consider giving
Because
time
I
to
got, like,
we're having,
Monday, Tuesday, you know,
but you guys would be, able to, yeah, October 12th. So just consider, we'll send you the info on it. It will actually be Friday, it will be from 6 to 9, we're having it catered. Have some really good food there, we may have, of course, we may have Kroger there as well. But we want to be able to use our exclusive protocols. And if it's product is, we're gonna take this probiotic and enhance it with collagen. It is unbelievable.
And that's
You
where
guys
Sarah
try this.
was.
All you do is put that
The
into
year
your
I
tea,
had
that's
to
what you have for
retire
breakfast.
due to my back surgery, she came.
Yeah, I need to make this as easy as
Parents
possible.
would see.
Not because we're dumb, it's we're so busy. And we need to make
And they
this
would
is
come
over.
and they
And we
would
can mention to people, and it was, and I felt so bad.
It was ringing to me like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people get that way, but it's just,
I've heard great things.
These guys for 3.5 hours.
But it's a great.
And what's your name?
We appreciate that. I will take that. You know, the truth is, what what you just said about the age, this is a transitional point. You start implementing some of this stuff, you see things change. I'm going into my 6th decade of life, and there is a difference. There, you have to be ready for that difference. But if you are, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be real, you're gonna be more productive.